everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Bullet Star. Now, I've already, with my children, reviewed Bullet Heart. So in this particular review, we're not going to be talking about Bullet Star as a game. It is a complete game. You can play it all by itself, but it plays the exact same way as Bullet Heart. A cute 'em up, it's called a shoot 'em up, essentially dropping tokens out in patterns. So I'm assuming if you're watching this that you already know how to play Bullet Heart. If you don't, we'll put a link in the description to that review. Here I'm just going to be talking about the different characters in this game since they can be mixed up and mixed together. Because that's basically what it is. You just have a pile of new characters. So there you go. We got Rose Blanchett here. Rose can rotate her patterns in different directions. Now that sounds really cool, but it's very AP inducing because you can sit there and rotate, and her patterns are kind of cool that being able to rotate the cards, but it will slow you down. You need to be somebody who can rotate and think quickly for her to work well. I like her, but again, every time I've used her, I'm like, okay, I got to think, rotate. At least you can actually physically turn the cards. Vesta Jackson here this is one of the characters I've not played, but when you clear bullets with a pattern, check the highest number, put that many bullets from the center in the incoming you would clear to, then put the cleared bullets in the center. That's kind of a weird thing to do. Vesta Jackson, let me see here if the game considers her to be, it says she's easy, but it just says clear 3 and 4s if you can, and then that way you get to send more bullets at the other person. She's kind of annoying to the other players. I played against Vesta, and I don't particularly, she is kind of annoying, but of all the ones here, she's probably the one I'm least excited about. Then we have Balance. Balance has no life at all. You'll notice there's no life at the bottom, but that's because Balance's action points are her life. So if a bullet hits her, you clear it, then you lose 2 action points. When you have 0 action points, you lose. So here's the thing, you're always on the cusp of dying from turn 1, but when you get to round 4, it's the same thing. You just got to make sure you have enough AP. That does mean that Balance isn't going to use her actions that often, and in fact, you'll notice Balance has very few actions, but also clearing the stars that give you an action point back, a much bigger deal. Your News Network, I like Your News Network a lot, YNN, because she has 5 alerts. These are special cards that you set aside, and at the end of every round, you pick one, use its effect, and then it's removed from the game. And basically, it will do something to either YNN or to everybody else. Like, pick a color, and get rid of all that color, or throw it into the center, whatever. They're not game-breaking, but they're useful, and one of her abilities will give her an alert back, and another ability will let her activate 2 alerts at the end of a round. So it's kind of fun. You have these extra action cards to play with. Memory. So Memory is a very interesting one because she has 20 patterns and 2 life, but at the beginning of the game, you draw all your patterns. So if you were someone without analysis paralysis, you definitely don't want to play her because you literally have this gigantic hand. And you're like looking, at the beginning of the game, it's fantastic. You can clear everything. But as time goes by, you start running out of pattern cards. So you have to be very cautious on that. I find that to be super interesting. She also only has 2 life, you can see there at the bottom. Jane Doe is one of the easier ones to play, and I think a lot of that is because she has these extra 3 tokens, the immobilizer badge and coat bullets, and when you pull them out, you do whatever they say. So they're here on this other sheet. You can see which one each one does. When you pull the gun, it clears any bullet on the board. That's super handy. When you draw the jacket, you draw a pattern card, and when you draw the badge, you move a bullet to any space. If someone's new to the game, this is the one I would give them. Also, I like that she's called Jane Doe and also has antlers. I don't know. I found that to be amusing. Put out loud to talenty. Bullets in your mind are face up. You can place any bullet from your mind. You cannot end your option phase unless there's no bullets in your mind and current. So kind of you can control things a little bit better. And then one of the funkier ones in here, Nawa, who does not come with patterns, instead comes with this secondary guy who has the patterns kind of built on here, but you have no actions. She has no action board. Her patterns have effects and no requirements. When you use a pattern, you do it, then discard it. This is not one I would give somebody who's new to the game because it plays so differently than the rest. Also, she just looks so evil eating that. Is that a kumquat? I'm not sure what she's eating there. Anyway, some of these are easy, like Jane Doe, and even the one where you start with all your patterns, it's that's a lot of stuff to have all those cards in your hand, but it's not overwhelmingly so. So these could easily be mixed with the first one. I don't think these are more complex than the first group from Bullet Heart, but I also don't think that they are, I think that they're different enough that, again, you can mix them all together. And in fact, they'll fit in both boxes. So yeah, I'd give this a 7 out of 10. I liked Bullet Heart fine. My kids like it more than me. They also like Bullet Star a lot more. We played this one live during the Winter Spectacular here in the Dice Tower if you want to see how it works. But that is a Bullet Star. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time.